So Steve Moran here. I am at the Silicon Valley Boomer Venture Summit. I think I got that right.
I think you're right.
And I am talking to Ted Fischer, who is with Hasboro. And as I was talking to Mary Furlong about this, she said, "Oh man, you got to interview Ted, who's with Hasboro." And my thought was, Hasboro seniors? This makes no sense at all. So why don't you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you're doing, maybe a little bit about your background and how you got to doing this, and what's the deal with toys and seniors?
So my background has been mostly entrepreneurial over the last 20 years. I've been part of a few different startups, and mostly technology-related startups.
Okay.
And there was an opportunity that presented itself to join Hasbro, which is, as you know, a fairly large public company,
Yep.
which I never thought would be part of my path. But the opportunity was presented as, come in and run this and lead this new business group with a few folks, and help Hasbro think about how to leverage their assets outside of the toy aisle. So in new markets and new channels, and so by assets, it's more than just product and brand. It's the ability to gamify or engage or value engineering, and so we looked at a number of different industries or marketplaces, and like most things at Hasbro, we dug into consumer insights, which is a big part of what drives our roadmap. So staying in contact with our consumers and fans, as well as sort of the pulse of local and global markets, and putting these things together, we had a number of insights that some of our products weren't being bought by mom or dad for the intended 4 to 8-year-old child, but were actually being gifted to an aging loved one, and serving some purpose and some need that it really wasn't initially intended for.
Oh, really? So can you maybe give me examples of what kinds of things that was?
There was a product on the market about 10 years ago in a line called For Real Friends. It was a toyetic, animatronic pet, and it about somewhere between 15% and 20% of the reviews on the retail site were about a use case that was not actually for the child. It talked about the impact it was having on a loved one who had gotten into a residential situation where they could no longer. And one of the key insights was this desire for interactive companionship. And so, we looked at a whole bunch of things, and there were more than just one product, but it kept coming back to this couple of really important things. One, in this marketplace, there seemed to be a void of fun and joy and play as sort of a product idea. And isolation and loneliness are becoming increasingly bigger problems. And so the more we dug into that, the more insight we gained on this idea of interactive companionship. So we went back out to the multiple different parts of the senior community and asked them, what would a product need to be, what would it need to have, really they wanted realism, they wanted interactive, they wanted responsive, and so their touch created some other response or action, and that's sort of how the Joy for All brand and the companion pet specifically was launched.
Okay, so the Joy for All brand is really geared towards seniors or to everybody who's non-kid?
No, it's specific. So Joy for All was a brand launched specifically. It's really our commitment to designing and creating products specifically for the aging population. In that, one of the things that I think is in Hasbro's DNA is the intergenerational, connectivity and ability. How many of us have played Monopoly or Scrabble with a generation above or a generation below or both? And so that's part of our DNA. And at a certain point, some of our products don't age up quite as well. And so understanding some of the challenges of that, we're now, as we develop our product roadmap, we're taking those insights to say, because these are games and other things that this generation has grown up with, and so we're really excited about what the future is.
And you've got this great brand name to work off of, so you're talking to elders who probably were playing with a lot of those toys when they were kids, right?
Right, yeah.
So, so tell me about the cat in your lap.
So the cat is the Joy for All companion pet cat. This was the first product in the Joy for All line, and we brought it to market in a very quick time frame because we're leveraging assets that existed in a modified and adapted way. So we were able to take these insights and then incorporate a unique play pattern and something that seniors did. A couple things that so there's sensors throughout, response to touch and sound and sort of light, if you will, really movement, not sound. But so it'll go into sort of a sleep mode, and then if you walk between it and the light, it'll meow and let you know it's there.
Okay.
But if you're ready to be a little more interactive, you just give it a pet, and it's sort of back on. And there's two modes. One is one that, again, another insight that there's some audio sensitivity that may not be as comfortable to hear the meows as much. So in audio off mode, you still get all the tactile interaction and the purring and the feeling of that, but not the meows. And so you can kind of have it either way.
Is it on now?
It's not, but I can quickly turn it on. And I'll put it into fully on.
Yeah, put it on to full because I'd like to see.
So there she is, and we don't name them. Another insight that we gathered is when cats purr, apparently you can feel it, their body vibrates, and so when our companion pet purrs, you can feel the vibrations around.
Wow.
So really intended to be a lap pet or companion, and what we've heard from our consumers is that they're often.
May I?
Please.
I gotta try this.
They're often.
And no claws, right?
No claws. Yeah, we took out the any claws and the look of disdain that most cats can have. So, she'll roll over and you can pet her on her stomach, and she's looking for a little love and attention, and as long as you make her happy, she'll stay, and when you stop paying attention, she might roll back over and so.
What happens can I pull her tail? So it doesn't do anything, huh?
It does not do anything.
Okay.
We thought about it, in terms of a feature set, but decided not to promote that play pattern.
Right, okay. So what's it cost?
So the suggested retail is $99.
Okay.
And one of the great things that, about Hasbro and their ability to, put sensors and technology into items that they sell on the toy aisle for, this value engineering concept. And so there are some robotic pets on the market that are, more than, 10 times and 20, 30 times more expensive.
Right.
And we thought that, that's more of a one-for-many model where an institution may buy it, and we wanted something to be affordable for just about everyone.
So if I were a senior living community and I wanted to get a couple of these, where do I go buy them?
So this is one of the first physical products in Hasbro history launched only online.
Okay.
And part of that is, we don't believe there's an aisle at retail yet that really sort of speaks to this product. And we know that our buyer is typically a caregiver who's buying it for an aging loved one.
Right.
And so there's benefits on both sides. But joyforall.com is our site where you can go and get it, but it's also now available on some other online retailers.
Like Amazon?
Okay. Walmart.com, and QVC and some others.
So how long's it been out?
We launched it on November 17th, we were
6, 7 months, 8 months, I guess,
6, 7 months. Tremendous response, so we didn't really give any indication to the market that we were, one, addressing this demographic and this population with our product. Two, that we were launching this particular brand, and so it received quite a bit of press when we launched.
Yeah, I can imagine.
For those reasons, and it was a great sort of validation that we were onto something here. So what's next? So I can't make forward-looking statements as it relates to specific products, but we're building on the insights that we have on this idea of social and interactive companionship, but we're also looking at that great sort of interactive and intergenerational aspect of what we do as part of the roadmap going forward. So what have you learned after launching this and getting consumer feedback? I mean,
Anything that would be helpful?
So a few things. Most importantly, our team gets an unbelievable amount of inspiration and and are passionate about reading our client reviews.
Right.
We're really letting our clients tell the story of the impact that this may be having, and there's use cases outside of just the specific folks who are allergic to cats, but developed that after having cats their whole life, and now there's this, but. Time and time again, we're learning about a caregiver giving this to an aging loved one, and then hearing the story of the impact that it's having, bringing joy and happiness in an otherwise situation where maybe their living situation had just changed, no longer can have pets or something. And the stories are there's a lot of them, and they're really. They're just the most validating part of sort of what we do. And I think another piece of information is the tactile interaction, the ability for the power of purr, they call it, and those types of things. Building on those insights even more as we go forward are really important to us.
Well, it's fascinating to me. So my mother, who lives here in the Bay Area, and I'm actually staying at her house. She just had a stroke about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she actually has a cat. But of course, because it's a real cat, it doesn't, it sometimes comes around and it doesn't. So I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, my mom might like this. So, and it's amazing how realistic it feels. It's almost creepy, but it's really cool.
It's funny that that's
you probably hear that a lot.
I hear that, and just before I can, I've been allergic to cats my whole life, so didn't have a whole lot of sort of cat knowledge. And, I find myself in my office now, just sort of sitting there petting the cat. And my wife often says that I've seen a few different things in your career that are a little bit out of left field. This one I did not see coming. But it's great.
No, this is really cool. I could see how this could have great value within the senior living community. So I really like it a lot. So
great.
Ted, anyway, I appreciate the time. Appreciate you taking the time to share it and share your cat with me.
Absolutely.
So,
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
You bet. Bye bye.